stand up and just read out Jodee's objectives for the speech and her speech topic.
Right. So the objectives of Project 3 are select a speech topic and determine its general and specific purpose, organise the speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes, ensure the beginning, body and conclusion reinforce the purposes, project sincerity and conviction and control any nervousness you may feel. Strive not to use notes, 5 to 7 minutes. And the speech title, do you have it, Tom?
I don't, I'm afraid.
Resonate to communicate. Do you like it?
Resonate to communicate. After all, isn't that why we're here at Toastmasters? We're here to be able to connect, communicate, and to, in a controlled but in a relaxed way, transfer information from one person to another, to communicate freely. And that's what communication should be about. There is so much information that we get on a daily basis that's verbal. But how many of you stop to think how much information you're getting that isn't verbal? Have you ever stopped and thought when you're meeting someone new, you know what, I just don't trust them. Or I don't know what it is, but I really like them. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about them I really like. That's what this speech is about tonight. Tonight I'm wanting to show you that we can communicate effectively with the aid of words as a participant of looking at things like expression, body language and emotions. So tonight I'm going to touch on some research as well as go through what expressions, gestures, smiles, postures and stance do for our communication. And tonight I've got two wonderful people who are participating and helping me communicate this to you, Emily and Edward. Emily, would you like to come up? Edward. So Emily and Edward are going just to have a little bit of a chat inside and everything, just while I set up the situation for you. Have you ever been watching two people, just say you've been sitting in a bar, and I'm going to ask for full audience participation with this one. I'm going to ask you to create background chatter while we're watching Edward and Emily just have a nice little conversation. Now, while we're just having a bit of a chat and they're doing their own thing, Emily's about to leave Edward while she goes over to the bar to have a bit of a drink. So, yeah, we're just going to stand back and watch them do their thing. And I'll let you just take a moment and just keep your eyes on Edward and Emily as they are communicating without actually speaking.
Ladies first.
Everyone, they're very, very nervous. So let's give them some background din. Just do rhubarb. Could anyone pick up on what was being whispered between the two? No idea. Well, that really failed, didn't it? Basically, what I was trying to show is that, hold up your little pieces of paper. If you look at phonics and the way people move their lips, if you say, I love you, it's the same mouth shapes and movement as you'd say. So it's very, it could be very embarrassing for someone. Thank you so much. I'll let you just continue having a bit more of a chat. But there is so much that you can say with body language and with expressions and things like that. It's cultural, it's inherent, it's something that you've learned. But it might not necessarily be the fact. Like if you're observing a conversation, you could actually say, I am so glad I am not that guy right now, because obviously he's been put on the spot. Obviously, I need to practice a bit more with my props. But
You need to pay
thank
actors,
you.
Jodee.
Both sit down. Thank you so much. Give them a round of applause. But we'll go and we'll have a look now at the research, because the research is actually quite interesting. The research for body language and expression wasn't done as recently as some of you might think. It was actually done in the mid-1800s by a French scientist by the name of Duchamp, and he learnt that expressions were universal. He did it under pretty extreme circumstances. He was doing it with electrodes, so the face was contorting to a specific shape. Now, his research didn't go too far, but then Charles Darwin, 15 years after the Beagle, wrote this very interesting text called The Expressions of Emotions in Man and Animal. Can you believe it? There are universal expressions that are common with people and animals. And those expressions, there's only 7 of them which are common. Anger, fear, disgust, sadness, joy, surprise, and contempt. Which is very, very interesting. But smiles, Ed, come on up again. Come on up, come on. Edward.
Yep.
And hopefully it'll work. Another round of applause. Hopefully it will work a little bit better this time. Edward's going to have a look at some images on his iPad. Now, we're not going to see what these images are, but we are going to have a look closely at his smile, because smiles are very interesting. Smiles are a bit like the word snow for an Inuit. There's so many different words for a snow for an Inuit, but there are at least 12 different types of smiles. Now, you might say, no, that's a bit of a farce, but it really isn't, and Edward's going to show us. We have a smile when we're looking at our family, when we connect with our family. It's a very relaxed, calm, company expression. However, when you look at somebody you are passionate about,
That wasn't passion.
that's quite a dramatic change for someone. When we go to something that's super cute. when we see our friends, for example.
I could laugh
Look, he's If there's also the smile that you give your aunt when she gives you the same pair of socks for the 3rd year running for Christmas. It's a tight lip. That's great. Thank you very much. And there's also the hilarious, that you find something very, very funny. Now, posture and stance is also very important. Thank you very much, Evan. Posture and stance is also another very important one. The way that you're standing. Are you leaning forward? You're welcoming and trying to get into the other person's space. If you're backwards, you're a little bit more reserved, but not always. These things need to be taken in combination with each other to fully get a full picture on what's happening around you. For example, I'm going to ask everyone here to participate now and just remember, what colour's your car?
White.
Okay, what did you have for breakfast?
Same.
Everyone's eye focus has just shifted. Did you feel it?
Depends on how you think.
If you're remembering something that's recent, opposed to remembering something that's past, like as in a long distance, where did you go for a holiday? When was it? You're remembering a date. You will look to a specific area that's not common to another person. That's your memory focus. When you imagine something that you'd like, your eye focus goes to the other side. So if you're trying to pick whether somebody is remembering or making something up, that can be a subtle shift that your subconscious picks up rather than your conscious mind. There's also the hands behind the back. Hands are really great. It can be authoritarian. I'm not taking any of your guff. I'm standing here and I'm in charge and you're just going to have to listen to me. But it can also be, I'm feeling very insecure and I'm fidgeting. There's the hands in front. Everyone tells you, yeah, display your hands, display your fingers, put them there. Makes you feel relaxed, makes you look in charge, makes you look comfortable. But if you're twiddling your thumbs at the same time and you're holding it, I need security if I'm holding my thumbs. I'm not really sure of myself. I'm doing this because I know it's a learned behaviour. But the thumbs aren't. That gives it away that I'm not being genuine in my reaction, in my stance. There's also the tilt of the head. I can see so many tilts, little slight tilts of the head. It's usually to the left. Or to the right, sorry, creative left. I'm listening, I'm paying attention. However, if you are tilting your head to the other side, people that usually tilt their head to the left to think usually tilt their head to the other side. Sorry, to the right. Tilt their head to the left to think. And that's also very interesting. But you don't want somebody who, when we combine the head tilt with the stare, that can become very intimidating, particularly if you look forward and you're looking down. That's seen as a very aggressive approach. So these are only just some basic things that I've touched on this evening. And I hope that the way that I have communicated and helped you participate in these little exercises has helped you become aware that each of these emotions and expressions shouldn't be taken in isolation. If you're trying to get a whole picture of somebody and what they stand for and what the situation is, take it in context. Trust not just what you hear, but what you see as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jodee. Some really interesting facts about stuff that I know